that's my issue. I wanna go to the town and say, okay, we just increased the meals tax, great. We're gonna, ask you to fund things that we have absolutely nothing for. We can, this is a great goal, and this is what I want, this is why I'm on this committee. But at the same time, I'm a young professional, there's absolutely no way I can find more money, even if it is a priority for me. And that is the central issue. This is an activism issue. And we're not right now, I don't wanna be an activist with the budget. We have to find a way to get where we need to be with the funds that we have. The teachers did us a big favor with their coming to the vet and coming to the fleet. And we need to do the same thing and be creative. But I agree with Maureen, we have really limited options. We cut programs, we touch the school day, or we basically reduce our, stellar class size to something that's less manageable, and I just don't see any other way of doing it.
I think, go ahead.
But I agree with Cliff. I mean, what we're doing is essentially surrendering and saying, okay, this is what's available to us, this is what they're telling us we have, and therefore we should fit our educational system within that amount. And I think that, realistically speaking, that we may not get what we think we need, but we should at least establish what that is and see what the response is. I mean, you talk about additional monies, well, I mean, there are monies available, depends on what the priorities are.
Right.
So it depends on how the town wants to prioritize how we spend the money that is available to us without even asking for additional money.
Right.
And what we're doing is we're essentially, saying, well, how much do we have and what can we fit into that number? And that's probably us being a little bit irresponsible, about at least establishing at least a bench line for what we think we need.
But I think that's the purpose. The bench line is what we have right now.
If you think that's, if you think that meets our responsibilities, and you think that's the best we can do, then that's one thing.
There's always better and more that you can do, but I think our class sizes are on target. I think our course offerings, besides that we all would like to see PE offered to the juniors and seniors, which I think the high school has heard loud and clear over the past year. I would like to see us build on that, but incrementally.
Essentially what you're saying, though, is if that's going to be your benchmark, so to speak, if there isn't enough money to do that, you're going to drop under that.
No, I wouldn't drop under. I mean, there might be some things we have to absorb through our own creative staffing, because it's a lot to absorb. It's about 600 to 800 that we would have to absorb. And so creatively, I think that's going to be the staffing of programs that translate into reduced day.
So, but just so you what Jerry and you and Cliff may be differing somewhat, but you're saying we should do what we done in past years, which sometimes drives me crazy because we come up with these budgets, we know the money's not there, then we spend 3 months telling everybody we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this, and then sometimes we get the money, sometimes we don't.
Well, there you go.
But
there you go. Sometimes you get the money, and by not at least, and again, I don't know that we're in that much of a disagreement with Maureen's saying you set the benchmark as to where we are right now, so what you're really saying is level services.
Well, no, that wouldn't.
What happens?
No, we're saying level funding.
No, she's saying level services.
Well, level services would be adding $600,000 to $800,000.
That's my point. She's saying, I'm asking her, she's saying level services. So if level services and available funds are two different things, and what you're saying is you're gonna take what you consider to be the benchmark of what we absolutely have to do, and you're gonna drop it down to meet the available funding. And I think what Cliff's saying and I'm saying is that shouldn't at least be our premise or our theory in formulating the budget. That's all.
No, I see.
My goal is not to provide Chinese or Mandarin or 6 other different languages next year. I believe that we need at least to hold the line at where we are in these troubled times. At least hold the line, and that's level services. If we have already been through this, as we've said right here, we have already been through this and cut line by line and struggled with which element we are going to cut that cuts out of the program to make it even less attractive or satisfactory. And we shouldn't be doing any more of that cutting. We've already been there. We should be at level services as a minimum, and we need to fund level services.
So your suggestion would be we go for an override every year then, because that's the only way you can do that.
If
And
that's
that's
what
not,
it
and that's
is.
not, and that's not realistic nor feasible.
No, it doesn't take an override every year.
Well, it
takes
pretty much would.
It takes an override to bring us up to a level that we can build on.
I'm
Every
gonna
year you get 2.5% now.
Well,
Every year you get another 2.5%.
An override isn't always the answer, it's the allocation of the available
Right, yeah.
funds. And I'm not suggesting that the town doesn't have as many needs as we got. I'm just saying that that's the other option, it's not always an override. There's X number of dollars
Yeah.
available, and the question becomes how much, is gonna be allocated towards us, and how much is gonna be allocated towards the rest of the town.
I would start with level services, and hopefully $600,000 or $800,000 will come our way, and we would be fine. But I think that we also need to have that backup plan thought out and ready. What happened a couple of years ago with the half-day Wednesdays was a knee-jerk reaction, and it was awful to just take 2.5 hours out of the day in the middle of the week was awful. So I'm just saying, in the event that we do have to reduce our dollars, I'd rather have a plan thought out.
I don't think there's anywhere to go. I
Well,
really don't. I think that we
you know,
are at the minimum number now.
And it's not palatable to me. I don't like to see things cut, but if it becomes a reality, I would much rather prefer that the administrators had thought through this and came forward with the recommendation to start school a half hour later each day to make the 2.5 hours than to go home early on Wednesday. Or coordinate something between the buildings where they stagger the start and end time. I don't wanna have to go there. I'd like to protect the 22.8 million that we have, but I'd like to be prepared in the event.
One of the things that Carl and I can start to do with the administrative council in the next 2 to 4 weeks is, I think we've heard loud and clear level service. You don't wanna cut any service.
Right.
And that's fine. So, let us attack level service. Let us figure out as best as we can what we think it's gonna cost to be level service, with the difference between what that is and what we're getting this year, and then begin to look at different avenues where we can either add money from things we haven't touched yet, and there are very few of those, or get money out of the budget or reallocate money in the budget. It's not gonna, we're not gonna find $500,000 in the budget. I mean, that's not gonna happen. But maybe we can get the gap down to at least it's a more manageable figure. And then we can continue the discussion, and we'll have an idea, and we'll know a little bit more. Like I said, this is just a general, let's throw it on the table.
Right.
We'll be a little more focused, we'll have some numbers that we can actually look at. One of the things I asked the principals to do at the last administrative council meeting was inventory your supply. A lot of people just go out and keep buying number 2 pencils, and now they have 30,000 number 2 pencils in the supply room. I'm being a little bit facetious, but the supply order is just repeated.
Yeah.
So, maybe we don't need to, maybe there's things in the supply budget that we would normally order that we don't have to order. Again, it's not gonna save a ton of money, but it's a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there, and then we'll be able to come back to you and say, here's what we think it's gonna cost to maintain the services, here's where we would go to begin to whittle this down. We think we have a little extra revenue in this account, and see what we have.
One thing too that I noticed over the past several years, our number of paraprofessionals has grown significantly. If you could just take a quick look and assess where are they, what's driving that increase, and if there's any economies in that area.
So Carl, on this budget that you handed out on June 10th, and it may have changed a little bit, the 22,802,875 was the appropriation from the town, including state funds, et cetera. And then you have 1.251 million from grants and revolving offsets. Would that include stimulus money?
Yes, it does.
So essentially, our budget is about 24.1 million total. But going back to the town appropriation of 22,802,875, if you were to add 800,000 to that, that's a 3.5% increase, which is reasonable.
Right.
Which would hopefully let us maintain level services. I guess Cliff, my only point is, I agree with Maureen, I think we have to have a plan to implement if we don't have the money for level services, because I'll tell you right now, this early on, I would never support an override in this kind of economy, other than for a building project. I wouldn't support a budget override for operating expenses.
No, I think I agree with you, Mel. I think, though, you, as much as anybody's pointed out, sometimes that when you concede a number, that maybe there's more money available than we think of that we can get our hands on sometimes, so.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I'm just reading the tea leaves on, you know, what you see at the state and federal level. I'm just not that optimistic this time around, that's all. And it could be made much worse if we don't get that federal money repeated next year.
I think we're in a good course of action. I think that we kick it off with level services, and then we remember, we hit June 30th this year municipally with $1.5 million of free cash.
Right.
And
That's all the problem, that's what I'm finding.
Okay,
Not,
so-
not necessarily draining free cash, obviously.
nor am
but
I,
it's
but
a
I just think
resource.
that that's evidence of the fact that it's, if you allow me an opinion, it may be somewhat premature to come in with a very, very conservative budget.
Okay.
Not necessarily drain free cash, but before we cut the programs for $500,000, let's take $500,000 out of the free cash and fill the button up, wall it up, or whatever it is.
If there's that much money free cash, that number actually surprised me. If there's that much money free cash, then
Then
That's what
isn't
was
that
presented
saying
to 'em.
that we're robbing the kids
We'll
when we
see.
got money in the drawer?
no, I'll believe that number that I've heard, not from Carl, but other places, when I really see that number for free cash. But you're right, I mean, if there's free cash there, we should look at it.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the update on the school building authority process. This will be a standing agenda item.
Yeah, you had asked that this be on the agenda. We are waiting for Catherine Craven and the other members of SBA to schedule a meeting with the North Reading Building Committee on putting together the feasibility study. And that is supposed to occur, actually, Dr. Troten and I talked about it last week. He really anticipated that it would be this week, and we haven't heard yet. So it should be in the next week or two that we have this meeting, and I'm sure that everybody involved will be invited, but I'll get the word out to everybody as soon as I know what it is.
Okay, but, the next agenda under that item, can you provide us with copies of the current charge to the building committee? Like if we, voted a very specific
Right.
task for them?
Sure.
And I think we're gonna have to revisit it because the feasibility now is all about the, combined school common area. And the last
Right.
charge to them was solely on the
High school, right?
high school,
Right.
'Cause that's what we submitted. So we'll vote a new charge.
And so this meeting would basically be for them to tell us how they envision the project and then what we need to do to enter the feasibility process?
I'm gonna give you a conditional yes. I've
Okay.
never made it to the feasibility study.
Okay.
I'm not really looking for the heater and I get the curveball
Okay.
and I'm called out in strikes, but, the difference here is that if they say you can go to feasibility, they come in and work with you.
Okay.
And so, yes, I think basically what you said is right. This is what we're looking for. This is what I think you need to do to get this feasibility study off the ground. And then we're on our own to get the feasibility study going. I think Dr. Troten's already spoken to the architect who's helped with the other
Right.
feasibility studies, and he has indicated interest in doing this one, so.
Because we did, at the Finance Planning Committee, we did discuss the issue of possibly needing funds for the feasibility
Yes.
study. And of course, they were interested in how much do you think we need, and we're really not clear. So hopefully that meeting will give us some indication of what we might need
It will.
for that. It will,
When
okay.
would this meeting potentially be? Have a range of dates?
I don't have a range of dates, but when we got the phone call and the communication from SBA saying we're going to feasibility